Welcome to Sipping Reality with Jill and
Megan.
We're on episode 20 today.
What?
What?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow. We did that.
We did.
That's amazing.
And we're talking about ASMR today.
Yeah. And the duality of people that absolutely hate it and people that love it. I like it, but I know that some people are super grossed out by it.
I'm not grossed out by it, but I don't want to sit and listen to it either.
When people whisper, I don't know why it irritates me.
Yeah, the whispering is interesting.
Yeah. But like prepping food, squishing Play-Doh, the crinkly of it, the cutting of the soap. I don't know why I really like that.
Certain things, certain sounds I can sit and listen to, but not all of
the
them.
The kinetic sand, they like cut it.
Oh, yeah?
I really like that.
See, I could see like finding certain sounds and getting into it and being like, wow, I like to listen to that, and like repeating it over and over and over again.
I've actually thought of doing an ASMR channel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's really popular. It's actually the most popular thing on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
That shocked me.
Yeah, I know.
I was really surprised by it.
I mean, I can see why, because it's very...
Loved or hated.
Well, yeah.
And
if you love it, it's very like mentally calming.
But also,
for
when
some people
hate something that other people love, it gets so many comments and so many likes and so many...
True. And that boosts the algorithm.
So much attention. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yes. That it becomes big, and then once people are getting views on something big, everybody wants to follow, so then it just blows up.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think I like mostly... Like, I know people do like product reviews, and they like open packages, and... They do makeup tutorials and ASMR.
They combine the two, because product reviews are popular too.
Yeah.
So if you combine the two,
ASMR
then you can get some really big hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we just watched some ASMR videos, because I've never sat and watched any of them ever.
She was like, what is that?
I was like, I don't like this. I was like, no. And then Megan started tapping on my computer, and I was like, oh my gosh, stop. I actually moved her hand away. I was like, no, don't do that.
Because the guy was tapping. I had told her, she's like, what's ASMR? And for me to tell her what it was, I was like, people doing this, and I tapped on her laptop. She's like, no. And then we put on a video, and he's tapping on the purse. I'm like, I told you, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and then there was tapping on that other one where the woman was pretending to tap on the other woman's face.
Yeah.
It was making that tapping sound.
Like tapping on her camera with her nails.
But then there's times where it's like raining outside, and you're sitting, and it's dark, and it's cold, and you're relaxing, and you just really enjoy listening to the sound of like one big raindrop falling off the roof that's hitting a piece of metal or something in the perfect way, and it's like, it can be relaxing.
Yeah, I mean,
to listen to sounds.
Rain is relaxing. Thunderstorms are relaxing, and that
not for everybody.
Yeah, some people get really freaked out.
Yeah, so
I guess it's relative. Maybe the same psychologically.
Well, lightning freaks people out because people
they're
can
scared.
Die.
Well,
they get scared because you hear stories about how people get struck by lightning, and when you're young, you're told like, don't hold an umbrella when it's lightning out, and be in a car, and you're told all these safety precautions for it, and then it's loud and scary.
Yeah, some thunder can be really horrifying.
Have you ever been so close to lightning striking that you felt the strike?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
One time, and you know what's funny? I haven't seen a storm like that since I was a kid. We have not had a bad thunderstorm like that. We came home one day, and we were in our driveway in the car, and it was pouring rain, and it was like constant striking of lightning and loud thunder, and it like struck right in the street, and like we like had to take turns bolting into the house because it was so bad. I haven't seen a storm like that in a very long time.
I don't know if I've ever seen it like come down, bam, 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 but I have experienced some really strong lightning in the last year. I have. There has been some really intense storms over the last few years. Really loud.
Maybe that one was more scary to me just because I was a kid. There was one time when I was a kid too that I got out of a recliner chair, and just as I stood up, the loudest thunder I think I've ever heard in my whole life. Shook the whole house.
Yeah.
And the rocking chair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really intense. Yeah.
Shook the rocking chair.
Yeah, it shook the recliner. It was really the deepest rumble I've ever felt in my whole life.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit more intense than most ASMR, so I could see why that could be on a whole nother level of sounds.
A regular thunderstorm, rainstorm, or just a rainstorm. It's
Yeah, or like a distant thunder and lightning where it's not that loud. It's just that nice gentle rumble from a distance.
Yeah.
That can be soothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, and some people don't think
Well,
it's
it can
soothing.
be. That's why
Yeah,
I say it can
right.
be. It's not, it is. But
There's
it is
some
for you.
ASMR that kind of turns my stomach, too.
Which ones turn your stomach?
Sometime with food, really like mac and cheesy sounding kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
that can make me a little nauseous.
Well, I find things like this annoying.
Oh, yeah. Well, that one that we were watching with the
Was
nails, that's what
doing
she was
that.
doing.
She was
and she was
doing-
chewing her gum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Annoying.
It's gross.
I don't think it's necessarily gross. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to it. I'm like, oh, people want to listen to this? But at the same time, I can see certain sounds. If I keep exploring these videos, I could see finding some sounds where I'm like, ooh, I could listen to this all day long.
Yeah.
I like this.
I love the cutting through the kinetic sand. I don't know that sound really.
That's like your favorite so
I think
far.
it is.
Yeah.
It like really soothes me.
I think it's really interesting how violent some of the comments against ASMR are.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yes, ASMR.
Yeah, looking up what some of the comments and some of the dislike, people get really angry.
They don't have to watch it. That's the funny part.
They don't.
Yeah.
They can just shut it off.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the funny part about bad comments anywhere. It's like you literally didn't have to watch that video.
Right?
And now you're angry
Yes.
about it.
But ASMR
Yeah.
is even more baffling that people would be angry about, because I could see how somebody could watch a topic of discussion, especially political or something like that, that goes against their beliefs, and they watch the other side to see what the other side is doing, and it makes them furious, and they write all these bad comments, and they still didn't have to do that. They're choosing chaos and anger in their life by doing that, right? But with ASMR, it's like you really have no reason to sit there and watch these videos if you don't like it.
Right. No. None.
And if you don't like it, then just
Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it, because clearly there's people that love it.
Right.
These-
That's like watching a show that you absolutely hate and then saying, why did you make the show? I hate it.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to watch it.
You didn't have to watch it.
I mean, especially today.
I know, but this is like the victim mentality stuff. People
It
love to rile
is.
themselves up. They're addicted to the hormones that are released, the chemicals that are released.
The chaos, the anger, the anxiety.
You know what somebody told me one time? They said that we're like our own pharmacy. We do things that trigger certain chemicals in
So
our body. We
true.
become addicted to those chemicals, so we do certain behaviors that trigger those chemicals. And I think that's what makes a lot of addictions are so hard. I mean, because you can't get away from yourself. I mean, you can change your behaviors, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
you have to be aware. You have to be super aware.
You do have to be aware, and it has to hurt enough.
Yeah.
A lot of those chemicals that we're producing are depression and anxiety and anger and things that create chaos around us, and we don't actually enjoy that.
Right.
It's just like a drug addict addicted to heroin, and yes, the first time they take that heroin, they feel amazing for a very short period of time, but they never get that same high again. It's never as good, and
need
their
more
life
and
declines
more and more.
really fast.
Yeah.
And then they're miserable, but they still can't get away from it. That's kind of like how we live our lives in general.
Well, we use the same way people use drugs and have to take more of an outside substance to get that high. We do the same thing internally with our chemicals by behaviors.
Well, if we look
And
at
situations.
mental health that way, and we're able to relate it to something like taking a substance like heroin,
It's the same.
then
When you're doing a
maybe-
certain behavior,
but-
you're triggering that amount of chemicals, and it gets you high.
But if we recognize that in society and started to have that perception of
Yeah.
it and see it that way, I wonder if maybe more people could start living a more secure, well-adjusted life.
Like, I don't have to be addicted to this anymore. I'm doing this to release this chemical. If they saw it that way,
Yes.
it would, I think, change.
And what I've noticed is that becoming more secure and living a more secure life feels so freaking amazing after living in chaos.
Yeah. And needing
Up
to
until
create
now.
chaos.
Oh, no thank you.
Yeah, I remember
No,
how
thank
that
you.
felt.
Yeah.
And it was like when things were good, I had to create something.
Yeah.
And God, that was exhausting
Yeah.
and depressing.
I'm still exhausted from it. I haven't recovered
Me
yet.
neither. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still
I need
recovering.
some sleep.
I do.
I need a few
too.
vacations.
I'm tired. Yeah.
A lifetime of chaos
Like, deeply,
has
but-
brought years of exhaustion following the healing.
But also, we've had high levels of cortisol running through our body for years on end. That really does something to your brain, to your body, to your chemistry. And I think it's going to take us a long time to heal, but I know we can, and we have. We have had a lot of healing from the changes in our behaviors in our life, removing ourselves from certain situations. I mean, we do have a ways to go.
It does make sense why people would purposely go onto an ASMR video and then write hate comments, though. Nothing else really makes sense.
Well,
to
because
that.
they want, yeah. I mean, like what we were just talking about. They want to trigger a certain chemical in their body that they're getting high off of.
Yeah, I can see how ASMR could do that if you forced yourself to watch it. It could definitely be a torture tactic for some people.
Yeah.
It's really interesting that so many people love it because there's so many of us others it could torture. Oh, the tapping. My boys in the house, whenever they start banging something, like I just hear something like
Yeah.
that over and over again, I
know.
scream, stop banging.
I know. I can't stand that either.
I did it this morning. I came up to the first floor from the basement, putting laundry in, and somebody upstairs on the second floor was banging something. I have no clue what. And immediately I heard it, and all my senses just started to fire. And I yelled, stop banging!
Yeah, it gets you to the core.
Yes! Yes.
Irritated to the core.
And some of this ASMR stuff can do that to you.
Yeah.
But then why put the YouTube video on to watch it?
Right.
And then why even stay there to bother commenting? I'm just gonna
We know.
shut it off
why.
and walk
People
away.
are addicted. People are addicted to the chemicals in their body.
Have you ever? I know you have. Have you ever talked to anyone that's so stuck in the victim mentality that you can't even stand continuing your conversation with them, and so you try to approach that mentality that they're stuck in, and they immediately turn on you, and you've totally lost your friendship with them. Gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I have. There's many people like that.
Yes.
And then there's people where I'm like, I can see it. I mean, I've gotten to the place in my life where I can see it ahead of time. And I'm like, man, there's no point in me saying not a word.
No, but I also don't want to continue just engaging
No,
with
no.
them and
And not
listening to
not
them
having them
either.
in my bubble either.
Yes.
But like when I can get around people who are like that, I'm like, there's no point in saying
Yeah.
anything.
Because sometimes the only way to continue on in friendship or relationship with somebody is to choose to just listen to them and completely ignore that they're in that state. And
it's very super
it's
shallow.
as painful as some ASMR sounds
It is.
are.
It's very shallow too. I mean, you can't even tell them your thoughts or what you're seeing or how you're feeling.
Yes, your relationship ends up being very surface.
Very, very
It
surface.
has to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I need depth.
I do too.
I don't think everybody does.
No.
I know people that just
I know
enjoy
many people
surface.
don't. Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I can't.
Yeah.
It has the same effect. It feels icky. Same effect as
Yeah.
that's like it's as annoying to me as
Me
these
too.
sounds, which
Me
is an
deeply.
interesting connection to make. How certain mentalities or people or ways can irk us in that same way that like an ASMR sound
Well,
can.
maybe we could make a link to sounds and frequencies that people give off by behaving certain ways too.
Interesting.
I mean, it is
a frequency.
It is a frequency.
We're
that
functioning
people,
under a certain frequency to be within that.
right?
Yes.
And certain frequencies that people give off irk the shit out of me.
Yeah, like you can't stand it.
No,
like you can't even be in your own skin around them.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So maybe
it's the same with sounds. It is very similar.
Yeah.
And they both do have a frequency and energy. We take on, some people would say we take on a spirit.
Right.
Or some people might not like that because that's too religious or spiritual or whatever they associate with that. But we can talk about it because it's the same thing as a frequency.
I mean,
certain energy.
Have you ever seen those videos where they
spirit.
play music and have like sand on a surface and it literally changes the shape as the frequency changes?
Oh, I've watched a lot of that.
It's incredible.
And it's beautiful.
We can't get beyond the fact that frequencies affect us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're made up of water, and it affects water, and
I think that's why. We're going to
affect
go
our
back
cell
into the
structure.
victimhood stuff. I mean, we kind of already touched on it, but we talked about it in our last episode. I think that's what we were starting to see in each other, that our nasty attitude was affecting ourselves and affecting other people.
Our relationships, our ability to form and bond with others.
Whether people wanted to come close to you or you repelled them from you, like we were observing that. And that is, I really do believe that is a frequency thing. And we can't get away from scientifically that frequencies matter.
And it seems that we're born with certain frequencies that are different from each other. And that's why we have a magnetic connection to some people or some sounds.
Right.
And other people are repelled by the same sound or the same person. I might fall in love with someone instantly and have this deep connection. And you would meet that person and be like, I don't even enjoy talking to them.
Right.
But it's not something that's developed over time or based how the person treats you or anything. It's just this
vibe,
magnetic connection or repellent of certain people.
Right.
You have somebody in your life that you're friends with. You guys are just friends. You don't talk to him often. You don't hang out with him often. But the first time I met him, I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
How do you have this person in your life? How do you even speak to them?
Yeah.
And there's just something about my core frequency, I think, that just doesn't mesh or meld with his. And I can see this person in a non-judgmental way and yet know that they're not my people.
Right.
They're not somebody I'm going to choose to spend time with. And I already know that they wouldn't want to spend time with me because they're going to feel that same thing back from me.
Yeah. And it is frequency. It's chemistry, honestly. I mean, just from my observations.
Yes.
And it's
chemistry,
interesting, like, even becoming attracted to someone.
Well, what I was going to say is chemistry, a lot of times in videos that you'll watch on YouTube and podcasts, now professionals will say, if there's chemistry right away, run. I dare say that's wrong.
Yeah, I don't
It's
disagree.
not about there being good chemistry or not good chemistry.
Yeah.
It's about how the person treats you and whether you're able to communicate well and be emotionally and physically safe with somebody.
Not be enmeshed right away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you might have a chemical attraction to somebody who's a serious abuser.
Right.
It just because there's that natural frequency, but that doesn't mean you have to be with them just because that chemistry's there, or vice versa. Maybe the right person for you who treats you right and cares for you and you end up being able to build a life with, you don't have that immediate chemistry. And yet, doing life together, releasing chemicals together in your brains through problem solving, through sex, through laughing together, through adventurous experiences together, that bonds us energetically too, and we can develop.
The person can even become more attractive than when you first met them physically, which is interesting.
Yes, physically too. I mean, that can happen very quickly.
That fascinates me.
It is interesting.
Right?
Yeah, they seem to change their whole look. Somebody that walked into a room the first time you ever saw them and you were like, no, not attracted. And a month later, they could walk into that same room and you'd be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's sexy.
Yeah. It's very, very fascinating.
It is.
That our brain would literally change the way we perceive how they look.
Yeah, we can
based on a bond.
We can build those connections and build those bonds with people.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
It is. And it all stems from this discussion on ASMR, which is so interesting because sound, frequency, energy.
Yeah. Whether it repels or
attracts.
Yeah.
And then how we are drawn to sound, how we can be drawn to sounds that make us so violently angry that we have to send these awful comments, just like we're drawn to relationships that cause chaos in our life.
Yep.
There's a amazing and yet very simple parallel there.
Yeah. I mean, we were selling honey at a vending fair the other day, and that guy was playing a song, and I went over to his booth.
You did. You just left. You were like drawn. You were just, oh, yep, she's over there.
Yeah. I mean, that is what sound has always done. And it definitely is fascinating to me. It is funny how we made the connection between chemistry and people and ASMR. I wasn't expecting that.
I love this connection, and I think this could be a topic that we could talk about more in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been great today. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yes, we love you all so much. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll talk to you soon.